it started as something that we all did together. It was just a family event to be active, to stay active. And it went from doing it as a group to having the autonomy to want to do it myself. And it just grew from there. I worked in a variety of different settings across the country and really got to experience a variety of different communities. And over that course of time, I decided that outpatient, that focus, that setting was really something that I started to kind of lean toward. And then once I spent more time in insurance-based outpatient, I realized that this is what I love to do, but maybe not the environment for me just yet. I'm not quite there yet. And then so I met the people of Enhanced, and I was like, yeah, this is it. This is the vibe.
Hi, Robert Hartline here, the Music City Work Club. Welcome to another edition of a member spotlight. And I have the pleasure to introduce Melissa McEnroe with Enhanced Physical Therapy. And she is not only a new member, but she is in our space, building part of what this club is going to be all about. And for those of you who don't know, we are building a wellness content studio and coaching platform right here in the Nations. We also have a second location, Edge Hill, but you kind of fill out the piece that I've been desiring to have, and that's wellness. What got you into wellness?
I feel like it's been long ingrained in who I am and just what kind of brought me on this path. I've always been involved in sports. I always saw how my parents navigated their own health and wellness journey. And it started as something that we all did together. It was just a family event to be active, to stay active. And it went from doing it as a group to having the autonomy to want to do it myself. And it just grew from there.
When did you know you wanted that to be as a career?
Pretty early on. I knew regardless of what I wanted to do, I wanted to help someone or something. I wanted to be a vet at first. And then I realized that there was a really strong curiosity about the human body and how it moved, how all the things worked. And I knew I was going to be something in the medical field. And I want to say my dad helped me kind of find that avenue and took off from there.
So where were you before Enhanced?
A lot of places. When I graduated school, I started my career as a contract physical therapist. I worked in a variety of different settings across the country and really got to experience a variety of different communities. And over that course of time, I decided that outpatient, that focus, that setting was really something that I started to kind of lean toward. And then once I spent more time in insurance-based outpatient, I realized that this is what I love to do, but maybe not the environment for me just yet. I'm not quite there yet. And then so I met the people of Enhanced, and I was like, yeah, this is it. This is the vibe.
What was the vibe?
So, I mean, everybody that works at Enhanced, for one, is in my same age group. So I felt amongst peers, and then just the energy that they portrayed to me, the passion that they had for the work that they were doing. Some of them were in recent transition out of insurance-based practices as well. And they were like, I can't envision myself doing anything else. And their passion for it, I was like, okay, that's the drive that I want within myself. So I want to say sold it, but they didn't really have to sell it. They just were speaking their truth, and it resonated with me.
So what does it look like for someone that has a problem with their body? Give me like a typical scenario of someone that would choose physical therapy.
So, usually they're let's say it's a very active individual. They're doing their typical routine, and maybe they overdo it, or maybe they're doing exactly what they've always done, and then something happens. They tweak something, and something's not quite right. They're not able to keep up with what they were typically doing. So they're like, I want to fix this. Whether it's they make that decision right away, or that problem lingers, it doesn't go anywhere, lingers, progresses, gets worse, and they're like, this isn't how I want to live. And then they seek out that advice that they can't find those answers on their own.
And what would you say the number one thing that you're seeing more and more people, because you're probably helping more people that are already in shape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're looking for an edge, or looking for an injury to go away.
Yeah.
Because I know about if I do something to injure myself and I can't work out, that is a problem.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so what's typical for you though?
So what I like to first do is like, okay, this person's super active. They obviously have a high level of fitness, strength, endurance, whatever it may be. Then I like to look at certain movements. Okay, you do these movements day in and day out. Let me see how it looks for you to do those things. And what are some things that I notice? And they're probably small tweaks. But when you're, loading the body and the repetition of all the things, it doesn't necessarily take one big thing to happen. So I like to look at their movement patterns and just make that little fix, and allow them to carry that back into their routine and feel better and more confident in doing those things.
So what's the first thing that you do with someone when they step in to really look at those movement patterns to identify, is it just a movement that they're moving their body? What is it usually that gets them to a spot where you're starting working on a plan?
So when they first come in, I want to know their story. I want to know what they're used to doing and where what is that moment where they feel like they did injure themselves. And then I, want to know the circumstances around that. So was it an endurance thing? Was it did you have too much load on the activity you were doing? And then I just want to see them doing that activity. I want them to show me that movement, loaded, unloaded, just so I can get a visual on what those things look like. I want to put them in that situation so I can say, okay, this is what you're doing. So you're probably doing this, that, and the other thing. These different stresses are happening on your body. This is how we can fix it. And so whether it's tissue restriction, whether we need to get more extensibility, more mobility in those joints, we do that. Maybe we need a little bit more strength. We need to target a certain muscle group to help facilitate that movement that you're doing. Maybe it's just a coordination thing. Maybe those muscles aren't firing at the right time to support the movement that you're asking your body to do. So it can look a few different ways. We find what that missing piece is, plug that piece in, and we give our body the time and the space to make those adjustments and to see that progress.
So I don't know if I'm going to do this on this podcast, but one of the exciting reasons we got the squat rack is I've struggled with my squat.
Okay.
And I know my form is wrong. Mm-hmm. And is that something that you could help me with?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay. And it's not necessarily that a form is wrong, I guess, in those terms. Because every squat, depending on someone's dominance, their structural formation, everyone's squat can look a variation of another. There's no one perfect squat. It's just a matter of, okay, what's your dominance? What's your movement pattern? Because someone can have a more glute dominant squat, someone can have a more quad dominant squat. It's just a matter of how they sit into that space. And so yeah, that's definitely something. But if there's pain associated with it, that could be something that.
Well, for me, it's more like not feeling strong.
Okay.
And I can't do as much as I used to. Mm-hmm. And I used to have this knee pain, but I don't have this knee pain anymore, which I think is weird that I don't have it anymore. Uh-huh. But I just noticed I'm 51 and I'm not squatting as much. And I've also felt like my leg definition has gotten smaller. Okay. I'm telling you way too much. But I think these are the kind of things that as we age, we also I want to live a better life.
Right.
I want to move better in my body. Mm-hmm. And I want the strength to match my energy that I have. Mm-hmm. And I think just having the ability to have an expert go, you're doing it wrong and this is a different way to do it. Mm-hmm. How long does it take for someone to start a program and actually start seeing some a return?
Everyone's different. It depends on what it is that I'm focusing on. But usually, with consistency, repetition of it, I like to give at minimum 6 to 8 weeks to see how your body adapts, not only to learn a specific movement or technique, but then to implement it. So 6 to 8 weeks at a minimum. And then, things start to take hold and you're able to build. So I like to kind of give that time frame to start with. It's great to get people better in that 1 or 2 sessions. But I personally just love that consistent follow-up to really help someone work through and progress them through those stages of strengthening and movement.
How does physical therapy extend into their regular life?
It's so helpful and important and integral in someone's day to day. Like, I work a lot with pregnancy and postpartum, and, I might be working with someone that isn't quite at that point where they're able to get to their full, 100% movement routine. Sometimes we're just trying to make their day to day, getting in and out of bed, doing their errands around the house. So sometimes it's just meeting those goals. So it plays a role in everyday function, movement, and, like you mentioned, your squat. And I feel like the practice that I'm in, the enhanced PT, gives you a really great opportunity to explore those type of things where people aren't necessarily going to insurance base to address those needs per day.
So help me with this.
Yeah.
Personal training and the physical therapy.
Yeah.
Are they the same? Are they different? I know they're different in definition, but I'm just curious because the very few times I've done physical therapy, it felt like a workout.
Right. So I think that when you start to get into kind of how our practice looks, it can look similar because we even do offer performative training. And I can't speak to all personal trainers because, their level of education, what they choose to pursue, can be different, just like physical therapists can be a little bit different where how in depth they choose to get into different areas and different avenues. Personal trainers, I think their focus might be more on, strengthening, progressive overload, but it's still kind of what we do too. I think the benefit of a physical therapist is that fine tuning and knowing if something doesn't feel quite right or like max potential. I feel like a physical therapist can really tune into those asymmetries throughout the body and make those adjustments in real time. To get to that high level of performance.
Do some people have to keep coming because they still fall in the same traps? Because it seemed to me like, I'm just thinking about my squat example.
Yeah.
It's like, you do it for a couple times and you just got to do it for a lot to get the muscles to look.
Yeah.
You have to relearn the whole movement pattern.
I mean, I can see if I see you do a few squats, I can tell you try this, that, or the other thing. You can implement that and you say, hey, it works. I'm going to keep doing it. Awesome. Go for it. And then if you want to check back in, awesome. I think for some people, it can be an accountability thing where it's nice for them to have that extra set of eyes on what they're doing in real time. So they have that feedback if they can't necessarily or don't feel like they can give that to themselves or provide that feedback for themselves early on. So I think it's accountability and support that makes that work with us hands-on a little bit more can be helpful. So
when you think about the ideal avatar, the person you serve the most, you think about your dream client, describe who they are.
Yeah. I mean, most recently, I guess it's just where I am personally at in my life, but because I have a lot of women in my family, a lot of women going through various stages of pregnancy, postpartum. So I feel very immersed and passionate about that. But what makes me passionate about that is just trying to help and support people in tuning into their bodies, getting more comfortable with the body that they inhabit and helping them feel and move better. So right now I feel drawn to that pregnancy, postpartum, clientele and demographic. But honestly, anybody who wants to learn more, ask questions, wants to feel better in their movement in their body, I want to help you.
I think one of the foundational things of the wellness component that we're trying to bring into the club is this idea of personal development.
Yeah.
And I think that's shaped differently for different people. What is it that you personally are trying to grow into? And it could be anything, just in your own personal growth.
Yeah.
Is there any particular area that you still drawn to improve in?
Yeah. I guess all avenues I look to just be better in, pursuing the pelvic health side of things. I'm also a yoga instructor, so trying to fine tune that practice and, feel more confident in navigating a room there. But in all that, cultivating a community that I feel confident in being a consistent resource for. I want to build that community. I feel like I'm yearning for it in a way. And so I feel like continuing to pursue and be as proficient as I can in all those areas will just build my confidence to be that person for the community that we have here.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And we are activating that space. We got the floor in, putting the floor in. We have a sauna coming.
Can't wait.
And, really what I'm hoping, I'm excited about you guys adding a professional element. So someone could, work with you, whether it's physical training or we're starting, if we start doing yoga here, if we start, I'm certainly wanting to bring some little HIIT workout that I call sweaty goals that I hope to bring here shortly once everything's kind of finished.
Right.
But really for me, it's like community. And community, what does community actually mean to you?
It's just having those relationships with the people that are around you, being able to, stop them in the hall and check in with them, see how they're doing. And, and just having those people around you to just feel supported and you can touch base with, and you just feel seen, and you have that social element of just fostering those relationships and in a capacity where I have that social element, but also that level of comfort or those people that you can reach out to if you have questions or, you want to grow from and through and all those things to learn from. But
one of the reasons I want to get in front of you is to invite you to your own event.
Okay.
So part of this experience that you're doing right at this second is me expressing to you how important it is for me to help our members be successful in the space. In one way, you can be successful in this space is to do your own event. And so be thinking about it could be wellness, it could be yoga, it could be whatever, but one of the reasons that we're doing this podcast is I want to, let our members know that it's more to membership than just existing in the space.
Right.
I am here to co-create the space for you. This is your space. This is your community. Bring people here and to experience what it means to have a community to grow with. I put a shower here because I want to work out and shower and then have my meetings and be with cool people. And then if I feel like it, get on a podcast and meet some amazing people. And I'm creating a clubhouse for me. And I know a bunch of people are like, yeah, I want a clubhouse. Well, that's the invitation.
Right.
If you were going to do an event next month, your dream event that would either scratch an itch that you want out of your life or a way for you to meet your ideal people that you want to be in your community, what would that event feel like and look like?
Oh, I've already been brainstorming this. I love that you asked. I love the stage out there. I just imagine being up there and being able to talk about what is pelvic health, and what does our version of physical therapy look like? And then bringing them through a yoga flow, just everyone getting some movement in. And then after that, just having a collaborative Q&A, social little gathering after the fact so that we can all kind of create, like you said, create a community with one another and meet and learn more about people that are in very similar life circumstances as you, just feeling connected, feeling that sameness, that similarity with somebody else.
Yeah.
So that's what I envision for that.
That's good. Have you been to any of our events?
I haven't gotten the chance to. I've got later clients when I hear about these events going on, but like I lend an ear, and you've had such great turnouts with those, and
we're having
just like what?
Yeah, having good ones. We're having good ones. So
yeah,
what would you say you would like to see in your life? Like, what would be like a big, deep desire that you could achieve in the next few years? What would that look like for you?
Just based on the nature of how I got started in my professional career and kind of where I am now, I really just want to cultivate that community. I want to surround myself with like-minded people that just want to feel and do better in their work, in their, in their bodies and all the things. And just feeling that connection with other people while they pursue that. And so I think that's why that I like this place so much, is because not only the feel that you get when you walk through the doors, but also knowing that, okay, that community is within these walls, and this is going to turn into something really, really special. So,
Melissa, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So if you are in Nashville, Tennessee, and let's say you're an entrepreneur, you're a creator, or you're just a leader and you want to just go to another level, you can visit the musiccity.workclub.com and learn about this place to be. This is wellness, content studio, and coaching. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.